to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down. Below me, bully boys blow. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. The line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. For 40 days or even more, the line went slack and tight once more. Our boats were lost, there were only 4, and still that whale did go. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on. The line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The wellerman makes his regular call to encourage the captain, crew, and all. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Thank you very much. Take that into gold. Let's see, 6 times 5 would be 30 grand. Oh, Polyphony can't do math apparently. Come on, PD, that's 30 grand. That's 6 stacks of 5 grand. Come on. Let's go. Get some money.
Stream elements bot running, emoji robot.
Did she? Yeah. So she came in.
Okay.
century. 2 votes down. I think the last time this happened, there was like 146 rounds of votes or something like that. So, Rover doesn't go without, though. I want to get people sworn in and that sort of stuff, because we're going to House Representatives to House Representatives was elected to do.
Hey, come on now.
Send bills to the Senate where they won't get out of committee, and the Democrats won't allow them to get through. But nonetheless, that's honestly that's where we're at. Like this isn't really affecting anything. It's not going to affect the function of government or anything like that. It's just more political theater, drama, if you will. In the meantime, I do want to talk about a few other things, and this has not been a particularly good. Well, but I've been off for a little over a week. It's not been a particularly good week.
Much better now, Scotty.
Much
better.
Then we had UFC Hall of Famer Stephen Bonner, died at 45, in cardiac arrest, heart complications, that sort of thing. Ended up finding out yesterday, Ken Block, the legendary race car driver, one of my favorite drivers of all time. He's known for the common stuff, which is where he's driving around cities doing stunts and things like that. Ken Block died in a snowmobile accident. He went down, I guess, some kind of a hill. He was on a snowmobile, went down a hill, and it landed on top of him. He was by himself, so nobody was there to help him.
Oh, wow.
He was only 55 years old. Daughter just had a birthday. Then you got the situation that happened on the football field. I know that everybody's talking about Damar Hamlin, and I think that we need to talk a little bit about Damar Hamlin. We're certainly praying for the best possible recovery. Last I heard, he was still in critical condition. But I think that it's important to have a discussion because the fact of the matter is, a good chunk of people out there, if not the majority of people, saw what happened and immediately had the same thought. And that was, crap, is this vaccine? When you look at the hit wasn't particularly that bad, especially for a football hit. I saw it, okay, it was a moderate hit, but is it possible that this is not vaccine related? Absolutely, of course, 100% that this is not. It is possible that it's not vaccine. I don't know that Stephen Bonner was vaccinated. I don't know. He's 45 years old. It's a heart condition. He is an athlete. And athletes who do abuse certain types of substances can have heart issues. I don't know that Stephen Bonner did that. I don't know that.
Dude, you vulgar piece of shit! Holy crap, did you see that? These guys are ruthless.
Has a great charity for children, which, by the way...
Wow! Don't back off at all. That's why kids drive like crap, Polyphony. Come on, Kaz.
A 24-year-old athlete, who's in peak physical condition after a relatively, frankly, mundane football hit, stand up and then collapse backwards. The one thing that nobody can dispute is that's not true. And there wasn't anything that happened during that play that would cause anybody to assume that anybody would have been in any danger. Could it be a fluke thing? Yeah, absolutely. Could this be that, the way that he was playing and the way that the game unfolded, that this was his myocarditis moment? Maybe. Could it be vaccine related? It's possible. We don't know. The fact is, we have to have this discussion. Not because I want to push the notion that vaccines are causing this. Vaccines are causing this. That is a fact. It's not up for dispute. There's several clinical trials and peer-reviewed studies now that show that. The real question is, when is society going to at least stop and say, okay, look, we have to at least ask why this is happening? Maybe his case is related to it, maybe it isn't. But it happened in prime time. And it happened in the most compelling and shocking way possible. And so now the entire country...
What's the innocent benign explanation?
...is forced to at least confront the question. Did the United States of America, we don't watch European soccer in general. I know that some of you do. Don't get mad at me. But as a nation, we don't. And we haven't watched an American athlete on the big stage have a reaction like this. There have been hundreds of high school players that we've seen this happen to. We've heard about this happening in practice on multiple professional leagues. We've heard about it happening with professional fighters and other athletes and things like that in training. We just haven't seen it on primetime television. And because it happened in primetime television, there has to be a discussion. And the immediate reaction to this thing is, oh, there's going to be people blame this on the vaccine. It's a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. There's peer-reviewed studies and there's clinical trials, more than one. That's not up for debate now. We know that it's happening. We have the FDA acknowledging that this is a thing that happens.
You're not supposed to hold that.
Older. We also have studies that are peer-reviewed and with clinical trials that show that this is more common when people are younger. Now, the other thing that is out there is this Commotio cordis or whatever it is, and I'm probably butchering that, and I apologize. This is what a lot of people are floating as a possibility, because this is something that does happen in contact sports. Now, this is where your chest gets struck at a very specific time with the rhythm of the heart, and it causes the heart's electrical signal to be interrupted, and this results in the heart stopping. And so there's a lot of people who are going, this is what this is, and that is certainly possible. You to understand that is certainly possible. With that said, is it likely? That's really up in the air. Do you know what the average age for somebody who is afflicted by this? Now, this has happened in baseball and hockey and football and everything else. You hit the chest, right time, your heart stops, okay? The average age of this Commotio cordis, the average age of this happening to somebody is 14 years old. This is a 24-year-old man who has been a professional athlete for a long time and has muscle mass, everything else that a 14-year-old would not have. So, is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? Maybe not. Now, the reason that 14-year-olds are the ones that usually succumb to this is because their heart is less developed, the walls of the heart are thinner, they don't have the muscle mass protecting the heart outside of it, bone structure is still changing, all of that stuff. Things that a 24-year-old man will not have issues with. Unless, of course, maybe he has some kind of a health condition that we don't know about, or who knows. And I'm not telling you that this didn't happen to him, I'm just telling you that it is unlikely that this happened to him. Doesn't mean that it did. It can happen to adults. It just usually doesn't.
Oof, stay
so
in line.
It's possible. You know, the hit wasn't that bad, but maybe it just happened at the exact right way. It's possible. It's also possible that it was the other. It's also possible that it was a third thing entirely that we don't know. But there has to be a discussion, because we do know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, this is happening with increased frequency with young, healthy people, particularly athletes, all over the world in numbers that we've never seen before. If we go back to November, there was a study that was published, 1,616 athletic cardiac arrests, serious issues, 1,114 of them were dead since getting the vaccine. So out of 1,616 cardiac arrests, over 1,100 of them died after they got vaccinated. Now, this didn't study everybody in the world. This studied a small subset of athletes tied to the Olympics, but that's what happened. And when you look at the historic data from the same groups that would be drawn from for that study, they never saw that data. And we already went over the FIFA numbers, because FIFA does track this, because it's a very cardio-intensive sport, and yes, people do die from cardiac arrest when playing soccer. And it does happen with some frequency, but they've never seen it to this extent. We've gone over that data on this show before. Is anybody out there on Twitter, saying, oh, this happens to soccer players all the time? No, it doesn't. Not in the numbers we're seeing right now. which is why soccer players themselves were calling it out every chance that they got in Europe. And here's the thing, the cause of what happened to this man is less important than his life. And the number one thing is for him to recover and get back with his family. But we can't ignore that it happened the way that it happened, and at least maybe there will be some people willing to have a discussion about it. I know that's unlikely, because the society we live in right now. But the discussion has to happen on why this is happening so much with young other people. Because it never happened that way. And more coming up, News Talk 95, great Christianity and shit.
Casey Henderson.
Stream Element Spot Running, emoji Robot.
Yeah, they got his heart going again on the field. So you bring up an interesting point. Just the fact that he's still in critical condition after his heart was restarted is problematic. Sands just got sworn in. A couple of hours ago, the reportering tweeted out that nobody even knows if Damar Hamlin is vaccinated. Well, look, if you have an NFL player who isn't, an A-list star playing on the field, the assumption is that they're vaccinated because almost all NFL players are. Very few of them were able to avoid the vaccination, and even some of those A-listers who did avoid getting vaccinated kind of like cheated the system, like Aaron Rodgers did. So, it's a safe bet that if somebody's playing in the NFL right now, they're probably vaccinated. Is it possible that he's not? Sure. Yeah, theoretically, but
Sure, thank you. Asshat.
oh, there's McCarthy. He's got a gaggle of people around him, and he's desperately trying to plead his case. The man didn't even wear a power tie. Who wears a muted pinkish red tie when you're up for the most important vote of your life? In other breaking fake news, Andrew Tate was not arrested. I can't leave you guys for nothing.
93, Michiana's news channel, your breaking news and weather station.
So Andrew McCarthy has got a gaggle of representatives around him. He's making his pitch, selling it twice, doing all that stuff. What can I offer all of you? After all, he was able to get Marjorie Taylor Greene for just 10 grand. He gave her $10,000 and suddenly she's in his back pocket bragging.
Okay.
That's kind of weird how that happened. Casey, did you just go back there? Look, I'm sorry.
Shipped! Damn it.
I'm not a big fan of McCarthy, and all of a sudden she's like his #1 spirit warrior. And I tracked down the funding, and it turns out that, well, he gave her some money. He gave her some money. So, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Evil. Pure evil.
Maybe,
The love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money. Not the money itself, but the love of the money is the root of all evil.
I don't know. It seems very strange to me what she's doing.
All you gotta do is look.
You know, her
It's
taking this
obvious.
fight with Bobert and everything else just seems bizarre. And some people think that Bobert, started it because Bobert being part of something that Marjorie had said, I don't know, months ago. But it's suspicious. Sorry, it's just suspicious. Maybe I'm jaded. I've been in this business for so long. I don't know. But there's just a lot of weird stuff going on right now. We got a lot to get to. Fauci files we dropped this week. Excuse me, Fauci files we dropped this week. We've got Adam Kinzinger lying on his way out of Congress. Tooth and nail, still holding on to the bitter lines of everything about January 6th. Trump's taxes got released. Shocker, he obeyed the law. It's like, how many times is this going to happen? There's a lot to get to. And we're going to cover a good chunk of it. Not all of it, but a good chunk of it. Hopefully we'll have a little fun in the next couple of hours as well. Don't forget, you can watch the live stream. Go to rumble.com/CaseyTheHost. You can also listen live at 953mnc.com. Got more coming up, 95.3 MNC.
Andrew McCarthy.
Did I say Andrew McCarthy again?
Yeah.
God dang, what the heck is... Why do I can never get Kevin McCarthy right every time. I always have to think about it. I don't know why.
Hey, when we come out, can you do a live spot? Because I forgot to tell you about that.
Okay.
That's important. Russian.
Andrew Kevin McCarthy. I'm just going to start calling him that.
I'm guessing you're a fan of Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It's been that way ever since he took over as minority leader. Like, I can never get it right.
Let's see RK is looking beat up, LOL. What's up,
What up,
dude?
DNC? How are you? How's your day? It's so hard driving in this view. Turn. Oust. You some
Going
bitch.
to first day back to work.
Now come on now. Don't do this. Go. These guys are asshats. Complete total asshats. Were you productive today? Or were you kind of dragging your butt a little bit? That back to work doldrum.
Oh yeah, I got the Jeremy Renner thing too. Forgot about that. Jeremy Renner's incredible.
Double shifting. I need a wheel.
You know I was forgetting somebody.
Dragging good times.
Yeah. No. come on, shoot.
Squeeze.
Hi, Dave.
Everybody's getting in. We're going to round 3.
What up, EA Racing? Welcome to the channel. How are you?
Again, if they swap places, this vote would be over.
No.
Okay, so Renner is out of surgery. He's stable. He's still critical, but he's stable.
Shit. They always dive bomb you. That's why the kids dive bomb you. Come on, shift. Good grief. No, I'm not intentionally double shifting. My wheel's old. My 12-year-old T500 is on its last legs, literally. Hopefully Thrustmaster can come up with a solution, but my wheel is way out of warranty. We'll see.
Well, I can't hear what Squeeze is saying, but he's making his pitch for his boy. They're super buddies.
Yeah, of course you did that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that second ABC news producer. They died too. How about that?
Another scrape.
That could be Squeeze's pitch. I literally was shot for this party. I took bullets for this party. Vote for me.
What difficulty do you use for the AI?
Pro. So that way I can get a draft off of them. Because when they're on easy, what you're used to doing this grind, when they're on easy, they go too slow and they get in your way, and you can't get a good draft. Oh, come on. I'm going to run out of fuel at this rate. I'm in the CLK, and it just inhales fuel. And it's heavy. Third, damn it.
I have mine on easy. I think it's time to bump it up a notch.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Scotty kept pushing me to up it, but no, they're gonna kill me. Well, I broke into the 25s.
Right next to C. Kramer Interiors. You can visit them online at
as far as overall time. I'm still trying to work out the shift points with this car. Again, it's really heavy.
There are some races that are way harder than this one.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I've done this.
Yeah, they are.
Kevin McCarthy, since he became a minority leader, I go back between Kevin and Jim.
Come on, don't do that.
Guy from National Review. I don't know why I do that. Freudian slip, maybe, but it's something that happens. So, my apologies. Adam Kinzinger lies about Ray Epps again, and here's the thing: Red State wrote an article, and Red State said, "Look, Adam Kinzinger keeps lying about Ray Epps. We should probably start to figure out why he's doing that." And that's probably a good idea. So, Eric Matheny.
The Willow Springs Halo Classical was difficult to win.
Ray Epps is on video encouraging a crowd to riot and admitted such in a swerve.
Oh, I hate Willow Springs. I just don't like that track. The contrast is horrible for me because the tarmac is really light and all that sand, and the sky is usually really bright too. I gotta turn the brightness down in the game so I can see the track better.
We don't have Ray Epps on video once. We have Ray Epps on video twice. Verbally saying we need to go to the Capitol.
Oh my gosh. Stop double shifting, please.
Here, the person he whispered to then yelled, "Let's go."
Now, when the AI was on easy, I think I lapped 12th, maybe 11th, twice.
Factually corrected me by saying literally completely.
Well, no, lapped it once.
Excuse me. It's worth noting that this is the second time that Kinzinger has gone to bat for Epps. He did so in January 2022, actually painting the man who helped incite the riot at the Capitol as a sympathetic figure. It was one of the weirder moments of the entire January 6th saga. More importantly, though, Kinzinger is lying, and he's lying in a way that is very easily exposed. Here's the brass tacks. I know that some of you might be kind of tuning in. Maybe you're just interested in what's happening with the speaker vote. Maybe it's a new year, and whatever resolutions become, more familiar with politics, or news, or maybe even the opposition. Here's what we know.
Too much push.
There is only one person on tape saying we need to go into the Capitol. We should go.
This is my warm-up race. After this, I'm going to go and put some laps in Atlanta. And then tonight, I'm going to be hosting lobbies. After dinner, fried chicken for dinner. Macaroni salad, potato salad, double egg potato salad. We're going to do Atlanta lobbies. Menu all night. I'm not going to do an all-nighter again. I'm going to do 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah. I need to apply it.
We actually have verifiable proof of it happening. We don't have any of it with anybody else. We have video of people participating in it. This is the only
okay, this tune that's on right now, I don't know if it's up, but I'll up it. Scotty's been massaging it. And the way it is right now, it needs a little bit front bite for me because I'm a little bit antsy and not patient enough.
Ray Epps on camera doing it over a 2-day period twice, and then you can throw in that third little timer because that person's here. Now, in addition to that, we have a text message that is now part of a court document.
We were racing last night at Le Mans with the cars wide open. This car is so smooth around there.
There's more evidence on Ray Epps being the single person responsible for January 6th than there is for anybody else. And Adam Kinzinger has defended this guy twice. The FBI is not interested in arresting him. He's not facing any charge.
It's alright. I'm not used to managing this car. Not at all.
There's zero evidence of Donald Trump doing any of this. And yet Adam Kinzinger wants Donald Trump arrested.
I love that livery. So if you search for rust, there's two cars that have a rusty livery and a tore up livery.
Interesting. Why is that?
Almost 25.
Makes a very good point here. It's one thing that you have a politician like Adam Kinzinger who's dishonest anyway. It's one thing to have somebody like Adam Kinzinger, excuse me, still dealing with it. Is that a doppelganger that we see on those 3 tapes? Is the text messaging that we have
7, huh?
with Ray Epps and his relative? Is that is that forged or fabricated in some way? It should not be a part of the court record. What are we dealing with here? What's
my money? Thank you.
With Adam Kinzinger going out there and saying this stuff, is it possible that Adam Kinzinger is just that dumb? I suppose. Look at the language the ousted Illinois congressman uses in response to someone saying Ray Epps is on video encouraging the riot. Now, I'm no linguist, but I'm pretty sure I know.
I love this livery. I absolutely love it. So I removed the 2 that's on there and put on my Kyle Busch 8, the new 8.
But as Red State noted, Epps is on video.
It's perfect livery for me, dude. It's absolutely perfect.
Also present on January 6th and appears to have ordered the first attack. It's also on video. Further, he does indeed say in his own sworn testimony that he will orchestrate it. So why is
the hardest thing for me is fuel management. Shifting exactly where I need to.
The smart play is if somebody says something about Ray Epps, you don't want the Ray Epps narrative to be told is to keep your mouth shut anyway. Because the moment you say something about it, it becomes much bigger. Because now you have a guy who was on the committee that was tasked with finding out what happened on January 6th, pretending that the guy didn't give the testimony that he gave, that his text messages to his own relative don't exist, and that the 3 videos that we have of Ray Epps doing this doesn't exist. Yet this is the guy that was tasked with investigating what actually caused January 6th.
I have to get a King Block livery for the next nation's rally race.
Amen to that.
There's plenty of evidence.
Amen to that.
He's the only human being that we have physical evidence of actually advocating for the riot and appearing to kick off the riot and then admitting himself that he orchestrated the riot. Yet, nobody wants to arrest him. Why is a congressman who served on the January 6th committee outright lying about something that is so obviously true? The videos of Epps are not new and have been circulating since 2021. He clearly and unambiguously incited the riot and the entry into the Capitol building. In fact, when you watch the different
I shared these yesterday.
He seems to be very well rehearsed in what he's saying and doing. It's a good question. None of this makes any sense unless you begin to think the worst, which is that the government was involved.
I've been trying to find a really good D2 livery, but the ones that have, the most likes, you can't adjust them, and I want my number on the car.
I agree with Bonji.
And here's the other one.
Entertain any potential theories that any of you might actually have, but why is it that the one human being who has bragged about being responsible for all of this and is on camera over a 2-day period advocating?
So the 2 that's on there,
the order to start
it's easy to replace.
Why is
Although he does have a 2 on the front in a really odd spot on the fender, and I want to put it on the hood instead, so it's not that tore up.
From an anonymous source.
Guy did an excellent job, and it took a lot of work to do this livery.
Somebody who was at January 6th but did not enter the Capitol.
A lot more patience than I had, that's for sure.
Detained him, okay, and then were forced to let him go. Why is it that they will chase people down months?
Wifey Boo is sending me a text message. Give me a second.
Over a year later, who may or may not have been inside the Capitol. Why will they chase all of those folks down?
All right.
But they won't go after this guy. And why are politicians on the January 6th committee so eager to defend him? I can only think of one thing, and that is Ray Epps works for the government. in some capacity. I'm not saying that he's an employee of the federal government, but he could very well be some kind of informant or asset, something of that nature. But it's clear that Ray Epps has the protection of the government when Ray Epps is the person that we have the most physical evidence on being guilty for what happened on January 6th.
Really?
You have to ask yourself why.
Oh my gosh. Come on,
And
man.
right now, there's been no answer, especially as to why
please.
politicians like Adam Kinzinger are so interested in protecting Ray Epps and why the FBI will chase down anybody who was in Washington, D.C. that day, except for Ray Epps. More coming up. 95.3 MNC.
Casey Hendrickson. 95.3 MNC.
This hour's Business Spotlight.
Round 3 has started. So round 3 has started, and McCarthy's 30, Jeffries is 32, and others are at 4. And I don't believe that
You still don't have a Speaker of the House.
this early last time. Could be wrong.
I need a keyboard. I got a bunch of keyboards around here. I have nowhere to put it though. And I don't have USB space. Okay. So let's take a chance and see what we have. Maybe. Nope. Okay. Ooh, what did we find? Yes, I'm doing some practice tomorrow for the official
Yeah, I mean,
races.
this is gonna go one of two ways. McCarthy is either going to
420.
wheel and deal and make some promises that get him the extra votes, or he's gonna have to step aside. Nobody else is gonna beat McCarthy while McCarthy is running.
That's nice.
So he's gonna have to make a decision to step aside or to do what the other people want him to do. And there's going to be a few people who don't want anything from him.
I do not know how to spell hoonigan.
It's here we have a live porn cover practice.
Okay. Got it.
It's good livery. It's good livery.
And I know that McCarthy's already been majority leader, but if he and Scalise switched right now, Scalise wins this thing in one round of voting.
It
It does feel like there's other votes earlier and earlier, though. But I wasn't super paying attention to round 1. I came in late for round 1, so I don't know.
Wow. Wow. I saw the video today where they made their own car, man. Wow.
Today on 95.3 MNC.
Okay.
Well, here we go. Round 3 is now happening for Speaker of the House. Those are the votes for Speaker of the House, where Andrew Kevin McCarthy is trying to become the next Speaker of the House for the Republicans. Kevin McCarthy, he's currently got 43. Jeffries has got 56. Jeffries is a Democrat. He's not going to win this thing. Others have 8 votes right now. Remember, you need to get 218 to become the Speaker of the House. So round 3 is happening right now. We'll give you the results of round 3 when that's done. We'll see. McCarthy's either gonna do something to secure those additional 15 votes that he needed from the last round. He needed 15 votes to secure the speakership. Last round. He didn't get them. And he's either going to have to do something to convince those 15 people to come over to him, or he's going to end up having to step aside, and we'll see if his ego lets him do that. I don't know. His friend Scalise gave an impassioned speech defending him and encouraging Republicans to vote for him here, but the truth of the matter is that if McCarthy and Scalise swap places, and McCarthy were to go back to being majority leader, I know he's been that before, but if you were to go back to being majority leader and Scalise were to be Speaker of the House, then I think this is over in one vote. I really do. But we'll see if McCarthy is going to do that or not. Be interesting to see what happens this round. So they got a little ways to go in the count. I'll give you an update in a little bit. Got to tell you about Warren Chiropractic. So Warren Chiropractic, most of you know I've been going there for a couple of years, and the reason that I'm going there is, well, twofold. One, a lot of my coworkers here in this building go to Warren Chiropractic, and a lot of you in the audience go to Warren Chiropractic. When I was having my neck issues and it was getting worse, and it was becoming clear that if I didn't get my injections in my neck, that I was going to be in a lot of pain.
I'm looking for my Nissan.
Email after email, social media message, and people coming up to me in the hallway like,
really?
Warren Chiropractic, let's go there. I did. I got my assessment. They started me on a treatment regimen.
So if you go to your profile,
I have not had to have an injection,
and then go down to newsfeed,
it's true.
If I'm one of your friends, you'll see all these liveries that just posted.
It's not a normal chiropractic office where you go in.
Hey man, you should try the 600 PP Tokyo Expressway race. It gives a 25-pound sands dollars of clean.
Yeah, I used to do that with Tommy Hawk, and then too many people on YouTube were whining about it. So then Polyphony had to do something because of all the whiners. I'm sure you guys know who some of the whiners are on YouTube. We're not going to mention any names of these whiners that spoil things. You know, YouTube kind of sucks sometimes. The squeaky wheels get the grease, and we lose our ability to earn money in this game.
They're calling it a chest wound.
I don't like the Tokyo race. I need to start doing the Le Mans race. So I'm going to be piggybacking sardines with Le Mans when I get a good tune for the CLK.
So that's the second one in a week.
I get 700 PP tune for the CLK.
And Dax DeJera was 37 years old. You know, this stuff is, and they're all weird medical episodes that involve the heart and that sort of thing, and not every single one of them, but a lot of them.
Really?
People
a mini?
Attention to this.
Wow.
The situation that happened on the football field.
No, that's not a mini. What is that? This isn't a
vaccine. You know, we don't have enough evidence of that, but you know, the fact that it happened the way that it did is having people are discussing. I know that there's a lot of folks who are upset by that.
Nice. That's cool.
The truth of the matter is the discussion probably needs to happen. And if that's what it takes to have that discussion, then so be it. Researchers have revealed that Google Home speakers have potentially.
I'm looking for Nissan liveries for tomorrow.
So this is just the latest example of your
phone
device spying on you.
I like that.
Security researchers
the Ford Mustang Boss 429 is a beast because with the car I last 6 minutes with 606 horsepower.
Wow.
Over the devices, excuse me.
That must have been hard to drive in the rain.
With their home speaker in early of 2021, and this security researcher found that a hacker could install a backdoor account on the device over the web, over the internet.
I wonder how many people. I didn't look at any of the dates of these.
At length in a blog
I'm assuming
post on his
some of them are pretty recent,
indicating
like today.
that somebody could send commands to the speaker.
It'd be nice if there was a flood.
Access its microphone, scrape
flood of
the
liveries.
Wi-Fi passwords, and access other devices on the network.
Huh.
Now, this isn't all that surprising for many of us. For a lot of you, this is probably going to be terrible. He said that the hacker would have to trick the target or victim into installing a malicious Android app.
How's your day going, Lewis?
That allowed the attacker's account to connect with the smart speaker. Once the hacker was in, the microphone in the Google Home speaker would be easily accessible to snoop on conversations. The victim would be completely clueless about the hack. The only thing that they might notice is that the device's LED turns solid blue. But they'd probably just assume it's updating the firmware. Okay, so if your Google Home speaker and the LED on it turns solid blue,
Group 3s. I need Group 4.
and it's not going through an update,
I need
you
Group
might
4.
want to be a little concerned. The security researcher reported the flaw to Google in early 2021. A patch was provided to all devices and people in the same year. The tech giant rewarded him with more than $100,000 for his efforts. I mean, that was nice of them to do. So,
did you see a Porsche came in Hoonigan
as is always
livery?
the case, just because there's a patch that needs fixed.
Probably.
Fixed from that particular vulnerability, but there is still always.
There's a bunch of Porsche liveries, but I'm kind of focusing on Nissan for tomorrow.
Deal with it, but I'm under no.
I signed with Nissan this time around.
Put in my house are going to be the things that take me down one day. I know that that's going to happen. It's just a part of it. There's also that's a little bizarre, interesting story out of Colorado. So there's a guy that was accused of tampering with a voting machine. Now this is during the Colorado primary, and he has been deemed incompetent to stand trial. He's 31 years old. His name is Richard Patton. He was arrested on November 3rd.
Muddy Jeep.
He's the guy that, remember that story about the guy who pulled a USB port out of a voting machine? He was threatening election workers and all of that stuff. The AP is reporting that according to his arrest,
Tesla?
Patton
Really?
showed up to vote in person on the last day of the primary election on June 28th. He made some poll workers nervous after asking about what kind of security there was at the voting center because of threats that have been made against election workers.
So I'm living with Nissan and Porsche.
So, there's some threats made. He shows up. He's asking about security, raises alarm bells. An election worker escorted him to a voting machine, showed him how to use it, and he was able to use it to fill out a ballot and print out a marked paper ballot to cast. After Patton voted, a person who went to clean the voting machine discovered an error message saying that a USB device had been detected. According to the affidavit, other election workers said that the security seal on the machine was either damaged or had been tampered with, and an USB port was pulled out. So now, apparently, he has been ordered to undergo outpatient mental health treatment, and has been evaluated by a mental health professional who has deemed that he is not mentally competent to stand trial. Maybe. Could be convenient, I suppose. We all wear tinfoil today, ladies and gentlemen. MNC News Time is 4:31. Time to check out Impress Jewelry Creations, creating meaningful jewelry for the moments that last a lifetime.
Wow.
This is Michiana's breaking news.
On the other side of this break, we have Acme.
That's a Ford GT car, right? Looks like a Mustang. It's actually a Ford GT underneath.
All right, folks, I'll be back here in a few minutes.
All right, what's your word? Exponentially. Exponentially. Could you use that in a sentence?
Corporate profit has been up over exponentially.
No, it's exponentially.
Come on, man.
You can't spell that with a D.
Anyway, I think it's legitimate, and I think it is.
It's just wrong.
But I don't think anyone's ever said.
Because they have it with an N right here in the dictionary.
Why they do that?
That's how it's spelled.
Look, I was. Anyway.
Okay, let me put my pieces down. Advertise. Okay. Your turn, bud. Got a word for me?
Shooting and I suffered the pressure.
That is also really not a word, Joe.
Come on, man.
No, you can't just make words up.
No, words matter a lot.
Exactly.
And I got the point across. You're the only guys that didn't understand it.
No, that is not a word.
Still the
What is that supposed to
RSR.
say?
I was gonna put him
I hope there's a Cayman for you.
Mm-hmm. And that's a real word?
Yes.
That's a real word, Joe?
Yes.
What does it mean?
You know.
There we go.
So,
Okay,
like, for
Sylvia.
example, America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him
Try again.
kleptocracy.
Stream elements by running emoji robot.
The guys who
Skipping
are the
some
kleptocracies.
comments. The Ford
Okay,
Mustang
Joe,
Boss
no.
429 is a
So
beast
I
because
put
with the car will
down.
last 26
Found
minutes
one.
with
Cool.
606 horsepower.
Okay, and you put down the word...
Did you see a Porsche Cayman Hoonigan
Yes, I'm
livery?
gonna win.
I found a cool one.
No, Joe, my point
I think
is,
so
you're
because
writing
of the
gibberish,
engines.
and I'm
I
putting
found
down
it.
actual words.
Stop your boast about never being seen at what you can do anything. You always.
It's not a boast. I just have basic literacy. Do you?
I should be able to read better, but I have never in my life done anything in approaching a woman that has been other than trying to bring solace. I'm used to, like, one of your staff was.
What are you talking about?
Donald, this is President.
You know what? Okay, I'm done. You can play here by yourself. Enjoy.
I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Become a member at freedomtunes.com for exclusive cartoons.
Ferrari. Wow. Huh. Dang. Some people would call that sacrilege. Lots of them. All right. Let's go do some practice. Real quick. Days of Thunder car. Days of Thunder livery.
Well, Fox is saying that it appears that McCarthy has lost the third round of voting. The tally is still going, though. I've got to ask, okay? I have to ask this. I have to ask this. Okay. You've got a bunch of Republicans that are rallying around Kevin McCarthy. And these Republicans are basically saying, for the good of the party, we need to unite, and you need to vote for Kevin McCarthy for Speaker of the House, right? Okay, well, if the projection by Fox is correct and he loses a third round of votes, will those same Republicans, those good for the party Republicans, will they have the courage to look at Kevin McCarthy and go, dude, you don't have the votes for the good of the party, remove yourself from this vote and let somebody else take over? That becomes the question. Because if this holds true, that McCarthy does not have enough votes in the third round of voting. He's lost 3 straight rounds. Again, this is the first time it's happened in a century.
I need to get into the 129s at least.
To remove himself from contention for Speaker of the House. Right?
And 128s would be great.
Right? Marjorie Taylor Greene and all of the other for the good of the party.
Some guys like Sonic and Yamaha can put down laps in a hurry.
To do.
Make improvements.
After all, if it is for the good of the party for this to not drag on,
I'm
then
old and
maybe
decrepit.
for the good of the party, you should get Kevin McCarthy
Come on,
to do what's
load.
good for the party and just remove himself so this doesn't drag on. Just a thought. I know that for the good of the party only goes one way for the uniparty, but nonetheless, just an observation that I have. Another observation that I had is that my water in my house sucked. It tasted like bleach and chlorine, and it left white, disgusting stains all over my stuff. It plugged up my shower repeatedly, and it also made the toilet tank like brown and rust colored because it had too much iron in it. So, yeah, I mean, city water in Elkhart is hot trash and garbage, and I don't know, mayor should probably do something about that, but he won't. We won't find out what's actually wrong with that water until people get really sick. You know, we've seen that across the border a couple of times too. Here's the thing. I don't want to put up with it anymore. I got new appliances, there's water hooked up to them, and next thing you know, this, you know, the same old disgusting city water is ruining my brand new appliances, and I didn't want to deal with it, so I wanted to make sure that I had good tasting water.
So my charging dock is kind of wearing out a little bit, I think.
And you know, make sure that our skin is better, and that's
I don't know what the warranty is on it. I need to find out.
So that's where I went ahead and I contacted Spencer's Quality Water. I come from the desert, and in the desert,
like a $15 charging dock for the PS4
while
controllers.
I myself didn't really have a water softener, I had, you know,
works great when it works.
Significant others who did.
All right, let's go.
And it was always dramatically better than the water that I had in my house in Vegas, and I remembered that. I said, you know,
so I thank everyone for being here. Please smash that like button.
I don't want water bottles
and subscribe if you don't mind. If you're not already.
I want to make sure that I've got good water in this house and I'm protecting all of my appliances. So Spencer's Quality Water came out. They did an assessment. I'm paraphrasing, but I'm pretty sure that the look that he gave me was, yeah, you shouldn't drink this because it's awful. And then they installed the reverse osmosis system for my kitchen, so we've got clean water coming out of the kitchen. They're forking that off into the fridge, so the refrigerator is I don't even need to worry about the fridge anymore. And beyond that, soft water throughout the entire house.
If you don't mind supporting the channel so I can get a new wheel, there is a PayPal link in the description. There's also a link to become a channel member for Kaboom Operator's YouTube channel.
I think it's just much cleaner, and I'm spending
$5 a month.
Cleaners and things like that, just trying to keep things.
Kaboom is currently on hiatus. He will be back probably next month. His dad passed away about a month ago, and Boom is in the process of moving from LA across the country to Virginia. I think he's got all his stuff moved already.
Water today, 574-277-1111.
Him and his dad were really close.
That's 574-277-1111.
Boom's a real family guy.
Let Spencer's Quality Water know that I sent you. All right. What else do we have? Yeah, Kevin Garth is still not doing good. I want to get to the final total, though. They don't have that yet. I'm waiting to get to the final total because I want to see if he actually gained votes or if he lost votes.
Oh, come on.
And he's going to stick in this
My goal is to get a Thrustmaster TGT2 really bad. It is the top of the heap of all the belt drive wheels. Best of the best. Direct drive, can't afford direct drive, someday, not now. I want TGT2 really bad.
I know, but liberals don't like that people who are not liberal are allowed to say things on Twitter now, and they want to go to
I will tell you this, don't always donate to the number that the game tells you.
Yeah.
To get comfortable doing all of these years. Come to their own platforms. Oh, they did. They went Mastodon. There's a couple of new ones out there, but Mastodon is out there. Now, there's a real problem with Mastodon. There's a report out that showed that Mastodon
come on, do better than that.
Has a lot of JavaScript. Yeah.
I tell you, this doesn't always.
Investigation was conducted, revealed that some of the largest communities within the social media platform Mastodon are communities containing child pornography. Mastodon first experienced a flood of child porn being posted in their communities in 2017.
What do you mean?
By 2022, the two
Lewis,
largest child
I understand your comment.
were second and third on the leaderboard, with only Mastodon.social having more users. So the official Mastodon community had more users than everybody else, but the next two are communities on Mastodon, which I guess are like groups.
Where's the signs?
Mastodon was only a year old when, on April 14th of 2017, they experienced a surge in new users. Now, this saw the platform grow from 160,000 to about 300,000. The two communities that contained child exploitation content became the first and second largest communities in the, what's it called, Fediverse?
I think tonight I need to decide on if I'm going to do a one-stopper or a two-stopper. I need to try and do a no-stopper strategy.
These communities overtook the platform's Mastodon.cloud and Mastodon.social communities, and in 2022,
Josh Pinelli's got it nailed. Damn it, come on.
Communities by a large margin in terms of total postings, ranking first and second with 60 million posts each. Now, the Mastodon.social group only posted 40 million posts.
It's white hole.
That's pretty dramatic. Mastodon gained more traction after Elon Musk bought Twitter, with a number of accounts announcing that they would be moving over to this platform.
I need to downshift after the turn.
You know,
I was watching Grove.
Obviously, everybody on Mastodon's done that. That's ridiculous. I wouldn't say anything like that. That's a leftist thing. But there's an awful lot of blue check marks who left Twitter to go to Mastodon. And a lot of them were journalists. And a lot of them were people who said things like, you should never go.
That the only recommendation downshift that is true is the perk before the slave arrest you can do if you do or for.
Yeah.
Those places have hate speech, and if you join those communities, even though that's not the majority of content on this platform, if you join those communities, you're actually endorsing said hate speech simply by joining. So wouldn't the same logic then apply to a journalist who leaves Twitter to join Mastodon if Mastodon's two biggest communities happen to be child exploitation communities? Wouldn't you, as an individual, then, by default, according to your own logic, wouldn't you be endorsing child exploitation?
Bad.
Just throwing it out. Doesn't happen.
Dang it.
Using their own logic against them. It's not that hard to do. Their logic isn't very logical.
I'm not used to all-wheel drive cars.
The left can't, and Casey's rule number 3 or 4. The left can't play by their own rules, so when they set the rules are, if you join any community that allows objectionable language to be used, not illegal activity, but objectionable language to be used, the mere fact that you join that community, you're endorsing that objectionable language, even if you disagree with it. So the same thing would then apply to that individual if they left Twitter and joined Mastodon, when Mastodon is a massive child pornography. If you're a journalist out there who left Twitter to go to Mastodon, why do you endorse child pornography and child exploitation? You should be ashamed of yourself. More coming up. We start 95.3 Michiana's News Channel.
Casey Henderson.
I'm reading your message. Dang it. Idiot. Pay attention to the road. Don't read the chat while turning. Dang it. Get in the groove. Penalty. Turn turned in too early. That's a penalty.
It's 20 votes for others right now.
And this track is 24 hours. We tested it the other night. No rain, but it is 24 hours, and it's gorgeous at night. Almost lost it. Lost some time, lost some speed, that's for sure.
Well, you know. Never get enough time. That check could have used it.
Third gear.
Yeah, I didn't mean stay in 100.
Gotta stay in third.
Usually it's about triple the
Damn, holidays are rough.
No.
Alright, 128.
Records, license plates in the summer.
Ooh. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
What's a little child porn with friends, right, Barry?
Oh, shit. Alright.
That's their logic, though.
Let's
Their
log
logic
that
is,
in
no,
officially.
if you join any of those websites, you're endorsing the
Alright.
behavior.
128.
Just like their reasoning for leaving Twitter was the surge in so-called hate speech, which was led by bots, by the way. You couldn't stay there because you were endorsing that behavior. So you left and you went to Mastodon, which has a child porn problem. You know,
Alright, Bless. You can do better than that, dude. I know that. Traff, you can do better than that. There's McGurgan.
I'm just waiting for this final tally. I'm hoping that
Ian,
he's lost votes.
Mark Yamaha. Dang it. Big Payco.
News Talk 95.3.
Ah.
News Channel. Your breaking news.
I gotta hit the 127s. Alright, that's my target. We better get in the same lives tomorrow. Colonel, good job.
Again, they're continuing their tally of the third votes for Speaker of the House right now. Kevin McCarthy has lost all of them. He is projected to lose the third one.
Sonic, killing it. The 86 is quick.
I don't remember what the others' votes were.
Scotchel.
You got McCarthy's the top Republican. You got Jeffries, he's
Smoggy.
the top Democrat. And then you have others. And then you also have people who just vote present because they don't want to take a position here. And I believe, but don't quote me on this, I believe that others has more votes
Is that
this
Josh
round
Benelli
than
at?
last round. Don't
That
quote me
passed
on
Josh
that. I got
already?
20 right now. I thought it was in the teens last time, but I could be wrong. It's Monday, and I don't really feel like sourcing everything, to be honest with you.
These guys are stupid
Monday,
fast. Good grief, man.
So I'm waiting to see the final total, because after the round 2, McCarthy was 15 votes short. 15 votes short. He had 203 votes. He needed 218. You get 218, you
There's
win.
Josh.
It's not who gets the most votes. You have to get to 218 or more. And McCarthy was 15 votes shy. So if McCarthy has lost ground this round, I will probably laugh hysterically. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. You know, just another observation that I want to make about the Mastodon thing. We'll move on. So,
GTR.
A lot of the people who left Twitter to go to Mastodon, including these blue checkmark accounts and these journalist accounts, a lot of them that did that said that they could not stay on Twitter because Twitter had allowed hate speech to grow and gave hate speech a home. And staying on Twitter was to support hate speech.
Ooh, yes.
There wasn't a surge in hate speech, by the way, on Twitter. There's actually less hate speech on Twitter right now under Elon Musk than in the previous year before he took over. There was initially a surge in slurs and things like that.
My replays are going to be his. I hope it's his.
Basically a fake operation by bots just posting racial slurs so that way the news media could gobble it up. And that's exactly what they continue to do.
We need to do that.
The actual amount of posted so-called hate speech on Twitter is less now under Elon Musk than his management. But nonetheless, using leftists' own logic against them because they can't play by their own rules. They couldn't stay on Twitter because Twitter had allowed hate speech to grow, and therefore if they stayed on Twitter, they were endorsing the hate speech. They had to go somewhere else. And they told all of you that if you went to Gap, you were supporting hate speech. Just by going to Gap, even if you didn't believe in it, you were supporting a platform that supported hate. Therefore, you were supporting hate. Okay, well, if you left Twitter for those reasons and you went to Mastodon, and Mastodon's 2 largest communities happen to be child pornography.
Horrible.
What are you supporting?
Horrible. Horrible.
Maybe you should, I don't know, write a letter to the supervisors or editors or whatever of some of the journalists who said those things, and then left Twitter and went to Mastodon and asked their bosses the very same question. Why do you hire people who support child pedophilia? What's that about? Might be something to throw in there. I'm just saying, might be something to throw in there. All right, so we got to talk about the terrorist on Times Square. Once again, I know you're going to be shocked by this for those you haven't heard yet, but the 19-year-old jihadist who engaged in an attack on 3 police officers in New York on New Year's, that they were known to the FBI, that they were on a watch list, and that the family of said terrorist had been warning law enforcement for some time that there was something going on here. And wouldn't you know it, they, like every single time, they just missed him. They just missed every time without fail. Look, it's getting to the point here where, and I know we talked about the Ray Epps thing earlier, and we talked about a lot of other FBI issues and stuff like that, but we're going to have to
do a quick run. It's 5 o'clock almost.
As a society, we're going to have to sit here. We have to ask this question: why is it that the FBI always knows about a terrorist, always has a terrorist on a watch list, always was aware of the terrorist, and is never able to prevent the terrorist from doing what the terrorist did? Why is that? It used to be, you go back to George W. Bush, it used to be that we prevented a terrorist attack. This person was reported to authorities, a sting operation was set up, they got the person, they were able to make the arrest after they set up a sting. That used to be the norm. And occasionally you would have some of the libertarians and even some of the liberals out there, but, occasionally you have the entrapment crowd out there going, oh, it's not fair, you're entrapping them, that sort of thing. And, there is entrapment, there's real entrapment, and then there's, let's just keep this person kind of in a sandbox so they don't actually hurt anybody. That's a different type of entrapment. But it's not that way anymore. We used to constantly prevent terrorist attacks, and now we almost never prevent terrorist attacks. We never hear about it anyway. But we always hear about the FBI.
By the way, the gloves are Rock Ride, ROC.
Every time there's a mass public shooter,
RIDE.com, or you buy them on Amazon.
we're known to authorities.
$15.
Without fail.
Got all kinds of colors.
Without fail, we have.
Personally, I like to touch my buttons and stuff.
They were known to authorities again.
So I don't like the full finger.
So this person, again, was known to authority. And it was the family who was reporting it.
Stream elements bot running, emoji robot. Skipping some comments.
We live in a free society.
Did you see a Porsche Cayman Hoonigan livery? I found a cool one. I think so because of the engine. I found it. I will tell you this, don't always dance to the number that the game tells you. That the only recommendation downshift that is true is the curve before the straight, the rest you can do it 3, 0, or 4.
Continue to climb. You're going to get to a point where that's not going to be a reasonable excuse for society. And then society is going to demand that...
I gotta turn in sooner.
That's the everybody else have more ability to step in and prevent something like this from happening. Because the FBI's argument here is, yeah, we knew about it, but we couldn't do anything because we didn't break the law yet. So we had to wait for it to break the law to actually do something. And you know what? They just gave us the FBI here. You know, we just ignored it. We tried to steal elections from you.
First lap.
So one, allegedly, tried to steal the other. Without a doubt, interfered into elections at least.
In the curve where you begin, you can do it in third
Just
gear.
ignore all of that. Give us more authority to go after people that are domestic terrorists, and we'll take care of them so we don't ever have to do the whole they were known to authorities thing. Wouldn't that be interesting if something like that were to happen? And I'm just going to say it. I know I said it a lot last year. I'll just say it again. It's almost like this is all by designers. But it's not throwing it out there. Yep, if it's not, it's close. It certainly is close. Go back and look at every single mass public shooter and every single domestic terrorist incident, and you're going to find that they're known to authorities, known to authorities, known to authorities, over and over and over again. We're coming up 95.3 on the scene.
I like how upon the news of the stock market performing terribly in 2022, on the opening day, the stock market performed terribly in 2023. Oh my.
Yay! Crap.
And we go to round 4. Alright, folks. I'll play some more music here. I gotta go grab some more stuff. I think it might throw like this now.
You call that an MP5? Das ist ein Stück Scheiße. You Americans are very funny, huh? Oh, you 3D printed?
8K slap.
No way. I'm a developer at HK. I don't think this is okay. Look at this. The way you massacred my boy. This is a little chunky, huh? Is this already patented or something? I don't know if you're allowed to do this. You're messing with German engineering. Yeah, it's the magnets. I think we have a problem. Ich habe eine MP5. You give a little slap. Ich habe eine MP5. Slap. Ich habe eine MP5. We have a little fun. Ich habe eine MP5 3D printed one.
Listen, I didn't come all this way for you to just be gentle with me, alright? I need you to slap me hard. I need you to go into battery, alright? Give it to me. Don't hold back.
Do the HK slap.
Okay, now, figure it out.
You mean to tell me that you made this in your living room with just a 3D printer? Yeah. I still don't quite understand. You mean you just squirted it? What? I squirted it, yeah. I squirted it out of the 3D printer with plastic. In my living room, yeah. I'm scared. This could mean anyone could 3D print it in the living room. I think that's the point, yeah. But But it's very scary. Sometimes the world is a scary place. Slap it with your left, slap it with your right. Slap it in the day and slap it in the night. Slap it like you mean it, slap it like a god. I slap it when I see it, it always gives me hope.
Yeah, this car needs a lot more turning, that's for sure. The setup is crucial with this car.
Slap me hard. I need to go to battery, alright? Give it to me. Don't hold back.
To the HK
Every damn lap. Come on now. Hurry up. A lot more wheel into it. Alright, here we go. No. 92, 89. Sloppy. I was looking at the speedo. That's loud, Casey. Don't do that. Ah. Yeah. Oh, got to downshift faster. Third, stay in third. That'll be the second, I don't think. Try it. Ah, crap, penalty.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to News Talk 95 Radio, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. I do want to tell you about Jason's Automotive. Again, if you're looking for a repair shop and a routine maintenance, minor repairs, major repairs, Jason's Automotive is the place to go in Edwardsburg, Michigan, serving all of Michiana. This is where we take our vehicles. In fact, just had a vehicle over at Jason's just about a week or two ago. Go to Jason's Automotive online at jasonautorepair.com.
Oh my gosh.
Jason with a Y.
Grass.
Visit him on
Freaking
Main
grass,
Street,
man.
Edwardsburg,
Grass.
Michigan. Let Jason's Automotive know that I sent you. All right. Looks like McCarthy, Kevin McCarthy.
If you haven't already, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Uh-oh, what happened?
There we go. Okay, that was interesting. Looks like Kevin McCarthy has fallen short again. And we are looking to go to a 4th round of voting.
Wow.
So I don't have the vote totals up right now, so we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But yeah, it's not looking good. But nonetheless, this isn't all that important. I know that a lot of people are making this out to be a very, very big deal. It isn't. Nothing is serious or anything like that. It's just the news cycle being the news cycle and telling you to be afraid of something that is relatively meaningless. The stock market was a disaster in 2022, so it's only fair that it opened 2023 down. So in 2022, the S&P 500 lost 19.44%, the Dow lost 8.78%, the NASDAQ lost 33.1%. Yay. Supply chain continues to be an issue. I don't know how many of you have tried to get medicine for your family as of late, but that has been difficult to do. Diapers and the baby formula are still issues as well, although those have gotten slightly better. But nonetheless, everything is still a bit messed up.
Who are you
So not at all
today?
surprised or shocked.
Casey Hendrickson
any of this day one.
on Rumble.com. Casey the host.
Has not been great. So I've got 22 of the most significant stories.
Casey's been on Tucker a couple times.
2022. Why not?
Local guy started. He was in Vegas before. He's been in this area for about 12 years now.
I mean, I can
10
do
years,
several different
something like that.
versions of this, but I'm going to use the Epic Times one just specifically because it was well done. But I'm not going to go over everything. But there were some big ones. Inflation was a big deal. Border crisis is a big deal. All of that stuff. And excuse me, there's always a bunch of stuff that we forget.
Now I understand your headline.
And some of the stories that we had in 2022, and the fact that we had just a string of celebrities that were at the end of the year, and that sort of stuff, which is it's always you grow up.
Now, if I was doing that intentionally, that'd be different.
Yesterday, one of my favorite drivers, horrible snowmobile accident, that sort of thing.
Talking about Ken Block.
And you grow up with those folks, it's always difficult. To kind of deal with it, even though you didn't know, because you grew up around it. But actually, that one's not over. My stalling attempt was not happening. So instead, we're going to do Biden blunders. How was that? For some reason, the article is like freezing.
It's all right.
All right, so let's go with Biden blunders in 2022. How about that? Okay, we saw a lot of bad moments in 2021, but 2022 was even worse. They did say on the news earlier that they're expecting a decision about Biden running in 2024 coming soon. We'll see how that goes. He keeps going kind of wishy-washy on that. He doesn't want to commit while saying he's hopeful that he'll run. So we'll see what happens. In November, excuse me, Biden went to the Asian summit, and since he was there, you would assume that he would know that it was the Asian, ASEAN, Association Southeast Asian Nation Summit that was held in Cambodia. You would expect, since he was there, that he would know that.
Oh, for crying out loud.
And that he would know who to thank, but no, not so much. He said the wrong thing.
Add it up.
Anyway, you guys, I'm heading down to, first of all, going to Cairo for the environmental effort, then heading over to Colombia, and then, Cambodia. I'm thinking the Western Hemisphere. That's number 10 on the list. He also had several Ron Burgundy moments. Perhaps the most notable was when he attacked the Supreme Court as extremists and then read the direction on the teleprompter to repeat the line, and that was one of the good ones. And it's weird how often this actually happened, because it didn't just happen
really. Even with the purple,
he actually had that whole end of quote repeat the line thing happen a couple of times. Hence the Ron Burgundy bit. But if you don't know what it is, look it up.
70.
perhaps the most notable was this one, where he attacked the Supreme Court as extremist, read a quote, and then read the direction of the teleprompter to repeat the line.
Really? That was a terrible lap.
Yeah. And then you had Javier Becerra basically, you know, almost losing it right there on camera that he read it, which is funny. Because the news media tried to play it off like that didn't happen, which is weird. It's almost like Adam Kinzinger going out there and saying it's literally completely not true that Ray Epps, you know, started the riot and advocating going into the Capitol on January 6th. Number 8, according to Red State, how many states was that? What's Paul Pelosi's name? And how he freaked out Kamala Harris. Biden spoke at the Pennsylvania Democratic's annual Independence Dinner in October. Kamala Harris and Biden talked about how House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was freaking out to see her husband. Come on. Attacked. He called him Bobby.
Warm. I don't want to cool off right now.
He also managed to kind of freak out Kamala Harris when he looked like he was going to jump off the stage.
Creaking on the inside.
And that was the moment. If you didn't see the clip,
plastic creaking.
Kamala Harris.
The bearings. There's a main bearing that's loose, worn out.
Kamala, it's like, yeah, take the dive, old man. I want to be president. It's her best shot. She actually let her best chance at being president go right out the window, and she saved him. So if you go and you look at the video, there's audio of it that I think we played at the time. It's not good enough. You got to watch the video. It looks like Joe Biden is going to do a header right off of the stage, and Kamala saves his bacon. I mean, and this is the lady who not that long ago was basically accusing him of being a racist and not letting her go to school. And she's going over and saving the guy. Number 7, the Easter Bunny fiasco. Do I need to say more? Oh, you didn't hear about the Easter Bunny fiasco? Yeah, that's when he started following the Easter Bunny around. It was very strange. The Easter Bunny was escorting him around because he didn't know where to go, because he had one of his moments where he lost where he was again. Then you had the math is hard moment. That's number 6. Biden has shown that he has a hard time with math. He's repeatedly had issues with billion, million, who knows how many of whatevers he's talking about. But you would think that he would at least know the difference between 2 and 3. Not so much as he showed during his visit to the Volvo powertrain plant in Hagerstown, Maryland, to speak about the economy. And that's when he had trouble counting to 3 for that one. So again, old guy. Then what's the single word that describes America? So Red State writes, number 5. Then there was this moment during the events for the Supreme Court nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson. He spoke about the one word that defined American. Of course, what was that word? Look, it's
purple.
I think I made several jokes over a week about that when, you know, it was one word. Of course, it wasn't one word. It's Joe Biden, folks. It's going to get worse. I can go through and do the rest of them, but, you know, some of them are just better than some others. Of course, the number 1 issue was him falling off the bicycle, which is great. I think the fact that that is now a Google Earth landmark makes that even better. I'm hoping that they build a statue to Joe Biden at the place that he fell off the bicycle at some point in the future. I would personally.
Oh man, I hit the ghost right now.
Just for the sake of it.
Damn it!
It's like him actually like mid-fall.
All right. That was clearly going to be a better lap.
You know,
by 2 seconds.
Like that, it could just be some cheap material.
I'm going to leave it there.
I don't care. Make it lead.
Going to kill the stream.
Just make scrap. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I just want to see it.
Yep.
And I would absolutely 100% contribute to that fund. But I don't think it's going to happen. But I hope one day.
I got to do my chores.
So
gotta do dishes, gotta feed the cats, and we're having fried chicken from the deli tonight with
it certainly was
mac rice salad, potato salad.
It is.
All right.
I guess it remains.
So
2023 is going to be any better. I'm not anticipating it to get much better.
we'll be back probably about an hour.
Who knows?
Hour and a half.
We'll have to see how things
Get
go.
lobbies open, practice lobbies, and have a fun night. So, I will see you guys in a little bit. Thanks for jumping in and watching. I hope you were amused. Thank you for the encouragement. And this right here, that right there, that needs to go up tomorrow. That needs to go up. Last week I should have just stopped with my top 5.
Well, see you man later.
Yep, be back on. See you guys in a little bit. Enjoy dinner. See you soon. Thanks for watching.